She was lost in the forest, saved by a beast. But what he corrected wasn't just her fear.
Stories to Fluency from Vital Talk Diction.
In a quiet village surrounded by thick forest, there lived a young maiden named Adana. She was known for her courage. One evening, while returning from the stream, she took a path she had never taken before. The forest grew darker, the wind grew louder, and before she realized it, she was lost. Night fell quickly. Strange sounds echoed between the trees. Twigs snapped, leaves rustled. Her heart pounded. Then a growl, low, deep, dangerous. Wild animals circled in the shadows. Adana froze, and suddenly, from the darkness, something bigger emerged. A beast, tall, broad, covered in dark fur, eyes glowing faintly in the night. The animals retreated instantly. The beast said nothing. He simply turned and gestured for her to follow. Terrified but with no choice, Adana followed him through hidden forest paths until they reached a palace hidden beyond the trees. A palace no villager had ever seen. Inside, she was given warmth, food, and a room to rest. But every night, Adana woke up trembling. The forest haunted her dreams. And each night, as the cold air crept through the stone walls, she whispered, "I'm feeling cold, I'm feeling cold." The beast would quietly enter her chamber. Without speaking, he would place a thick royal cloak around her shoulders and leave. Days passed. Fear slowly turned to curiosity. Curiosity turned to conversation. Though he looked terrifying, his voice was calm, gentle, wise. After a week, something changed. One evening, as he stood near her window, moonlight falling across his fur, she stepped closer. "You saved me," she said softly. The beast looked away. "No one has ever thanked me." Adana smiled, and before fear could return, she leaned forward and kissed him gently. Silence. The room trembled. A warm golden light filled the chamber. The fur suddenly disappeared. The claws vanished. Before her stood a tall, handsome, young African prince. His eyes were the same, but softer. Later that night, Adana and the prince had a heart-to-heart conversation. "How did you become a beast?" she asked. "I was once arrogant," he said quietly. "I mocked a woman who appeared poor. She placed a spell on me. I would remain a beast until someone kissed me out of genuine love." Adana stared in disbelief. The prince smiled. "But there is one more thing." She blinked. He stepped closer, amused. "You kept saying, 'I'm feeling cold.'" She frowned slightly. "Yes," he chuckled gently. "When you are describing the temperature of a place, you say, 'It's cold in here.' Adana covered her face in embarrassment. The prince laughed warmly. Even beasts appreciate good English, you know. They both laughed. And from that day forward, the palace was no longer cold. It was warm, very warm. Sometimes love breaks spells and correction builds confidence. Subscribe for more stories that will build your fluency.